Hello everyone, welcome to the Bodhi Academy. I am Mahanta and today we will see 7th standard science chapter, that is forests, our lifeline. So we all have heard or we have seen forests, right? So what are forests? Forest is a area or a part of land which is densely covered with vegetation or trees and other plants. So, a forest is an area or a part of land that is covered with trees and a wide variety of plants. Then, it is a large area of land thickly covered with trees and bushes. As we have already seen or heard, forests are a large area of land which is densely or thickly covered with trees and bushes. Then forest also includes non-living or abiotic factors such as sunlight, air, nutrients, water and rocks. Now all these trees or the animals which are present in the forest will require these abiotic factors too. Abiotic meaning non-living factors such as sunlight. The plants will require sunlight to prepare their food through photosynthesis. Then air, the plants as well as animals will need air for respiration. Then nutrients, the plants will take up nutrients from the soil which is present and the animals will feed on the plants to acquire the nutrients or the food. Then there is also presence of water. As we know, water is essential for all living organisms. Now these forests also form a complete ecosystem. Now ecosystem means when different organisms exist or live together and they are interdependent on each other. Now the forest includes living organisms such as trees, shrubs, plants, microorganisms, wild animals and birds. Now all these different organisms will exist together and form an ecosystem. Now there are different kinds of forests present on earth depending upon the geographical and climatical conditions of a particular region. Now what this means is there are various different types of forest. For example, in the colder regions of the earth, there will be the weather or the climate will be cooler as compared to the other parts. So the trees and the animals which are present in those forests will be better adapted to the colder climates. Similarly, in the hot and humid regions of the earth, the forests which are present will have the vegetation or the wildlife which will be better adapted to warm temperatures or hot climate. Then forest serves various purposes for human as well as nature, and hence they are an important natural resource. This we already know. Forest serves various purposes for us and for the nature. That is, they will purify the air, they will take in the carbon dioxide and release oxygen which we use for breathing. Then the forest provides us with food, that is fruits or vegetables. Then it will provide us with timber, wood for construction or building furnitures. Then it also influences climate, water cycle and air quality. As I have already said, forests replenish or they improve the air quality. Then they also influence the water cycle. That means when there is a vast area or vast region of forest, then there will be more regular or adequate rainfall. So it will influence the water cycle and influences the climate. Means when there are forest and trees, the climate over there will be more cooler and calmer. Then forest also protects soil from erosion. As we know that the trees have large root systems, and these trees anchor the soil. So these tree, the roots of the tree will anchor the soil particles together, and thus there will be less soil erosion. When the rain falls, the when the rain falls, these soil particles will be held together by the roots, and there will be less erosion of the soil. So the forest protects from soil erosion too. Then the components of forest are interdependent on one another. So as I have already said, the components of forest, that is the trees and the animals, are interdependent on each other. For example, the animals are dependent on the plants and trees for food and shelter. Then forests are home to numerous plant species. Now the plant species which are found in the forest are called as the flora of the forest. So the plants are called as the flora of the forest. Now there are different kinds of trees found in the forest, such as neem, bamboo, shisham, fig, sal, amla and teak. Now these are various examples of trees found in forests. Neem, bamboo, shisham, fig, sal, amla and teak. Now these are the huge trees which are found in the forest. Now along with these large and tall trees, there are different kinds of herbs which are present. Now herbs means these are the small plants with green stems. They do not have woody brown stem. Then shrubs are plants which have woody stem, and they are slightly bigger than the herbs. Then climbers and creepers are also present, which will take the support of other plant and climb upwards. Then grasses are also found in the forest. We all know what grasses are. Then these plants serve various purposes for the environment as well as human beings. As we have known, trees and plants have endless uses for environments and human beings. Then these plants are also used by the animals as their source of food. The animals will feed upon these herbs, shrubs, grasses, etc. for their source of food. Then the forests grow by themselves. The forest they can grow by themselves. That is when there are favorable conditions present of climate, then fertile soil is present, adequate rainfall is there. These forests can grow by themselves. That is, there is no need to go and plant trees and water them. So in forest, the forest provides favorable environmental conditions to plant, so they can germinate and grow on their own. Then we have heard the word crown, right? We have heard the word crown. Now when we think of crown, we usually think of kings and queens. The crown is present on their heads. So similarly, in case of plants or trees, the upper part of the top of the tree is called its crown. Now in a tree, the part which consists of the branches and the leaves is called the crown of the tree. Now these are images of various trees which are found in the forest. For example, a neem tree, shisham, simal and bamboo. Then these trees in forest are usually present very close to each other. They grow densely in the forest. So all these crowns of the trees form a roof-like structure in the forest. Now this structure or this part of the trees is called as a canopy. Now in the forest, different trees grow tall together and their branches appears as a roof of the forest. As no sky is visible through these trees, this is called a canopy. So as I have said, various different types and a large number of trees when they grow together, their branches and their crown appears to form a roof, and this roof will block this roof of branches and crown which is formed will block the sun rays and which will reach the ground, and it will and if we stand over here, it will also block the view of the sky. So this part which is formed by the trees is called as the canopy. The term which is used to describe this is called canopy. I will show you a image. Now this is the canopy of a plant or a forest. Now here, as you can see, the visibility of sky is very less as all the branches of different trees are connected together, and similarly from above the sunlight which reaches the ground will be reduced due to this roof-like canopy. Then there is something called as stratification in forest. Now what is stratification means is that it is a division of the various layers of natural habitat based on the height of the vegetation. Now what this means is, now we know that there are many trees in forest. So do you think all the trees which are present will be of the same height? No, right? So we have different kinds of trees and plants which are of different heights. So this difference in the height of the plants or the vegetation will form a division. Let us read. The stratification is defined as dividing a natural habitat into several layers depending upon the heights of plant or vegetation of that area. And this stratification will allow to minimize the competition for food and shelter among the animals which live in the forest. For example, we will have a tall tree which will have the most or the highest height. Then then there will be smaller trees or shrubs which will be of similar height. Then there will be some bushes which will be present at the lower level of the forest, and then there will be even smaller grasses or herbs which will be present. Now this allows minimization of competition among the animals and allows them to survive easily. What this means is, when there are birds, animals and different kinds of microorganisms which are present. Now the birds can take shelter and take the food or the fruits. They can eat the fruits which are present on the taller trees. Similarly, animals like monkeys can take shelter on these taller trees, whereas the some other animals like deer can eat the bushes, the fruits and the leaves of the bushes or the grasses. Then these animal can take shelter below the at the base of the smaller trees. In this way, there is division of food and shelter between the animals, so there is reduction in competition. Then the number of layers in forest depends upon the climate, temperature and availability of light, then also types of soils and rainfall. Now we will see the different layers of forest. Now the forests are usually divided into these 6 layers. We will see the first is the forest floor. Now it comprises of shaded leaves, stem, bark and the top layer of soil. We will explain using a picture. So now here the forest floor will contain the fallen leaves or stems which will fall from the trees and will be shaded on the ground. Then the second layer consists of plants without woody stem, those which grow above the ground. Now this is the herb layer. These are the plants which do not have a woody stem, and this layer will also have, now this is the layer with the herbs, and it will also have grasses. Then the third one is the shrub layer. It consists of small to medium sized plants. Now this will consist of small to medium sized plants. As we can see over here, these are the shrubs which are present. It has the small to medium height of plants. The next layer is the understory layer. Now it consists of plants that will grow above the forest floor but below the canopy of the plants. As we can see in this image, this is the canopy and this is the forest floor. The plants which grow between the canopy and the forest floor will be the understory layer. Then the next layer is the canopy of the forest. Now this will contain the tree crowns. It contains, or it forms the roof, so it contains the tree crowns and it is almost always exposed to the sunlight. Now this is the canopy layer. This is basically the roof of a forest which will always be exposed to the sunlight. Then the last layer is the emergent layer, and it is formed by the taller trees which always stand out. As if we see the forest from a distance, these are the trees which are very tall and which will stand out the most. Now it consists of the topmost layer of trees and it is generally found in the tropical forest. Now these tallest trees will be found usually in the tropical forests. This is the stratification or the division of several layers in the forest. Then let us see the importance of forest. Forest, as I have already said, forests purify air, they prevent soil erosion. Then these forests also acts as noise absorbers, so they will absorb the noise which is around. Then it provides timber, that is it will provide the wood. Then it provides shelter to the animals. It also provides food source to the animals. Then it will help in control of floods. So this is all we will see in this class. The next part of the chapter will be covered in the next part, second part of the video. Now thank you for watching my video. Please like, share and subscribe to the ODI Academy.